Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be chatting to you about how I color graded the images from my underwater video that I posted last week. If you haven't checked it out yet, make sure you do. I'm going to link it down below. But this is it here. I'm going to be working on this image, and as you see, the before and after is quite extreme. So I just wanted to kind of talk you through the process and just kind of let you know how I worked on it. Before we get into this video, I would love if you subscribe to my channel and click the little bell to not miss any of my future videos. And let's get right into it. Okay, so we are going to start from the beginning. So I think the main two things when you're working with underwater images is to add loads of clarity and to balance out the colors, because they are very green usually if you don't use the red filter like I didn't. So I'm going to start with just adding clarity first. I'm going to go maybe to plus 70 or plus 80. And then I'm going to go to dehaze as well, maybe up to 30 or something around there. And once I have that, I'm going to try and balance out the color once I have a bit more contrast. So I'm going to go maybe to around 9000 and warmth, because the image is quite cold. And then I'm going to add loads of magenta just to balance out the green tones. So I'm going to go to maybe up plus 90 or something like that. Yeah, so quite far. And as you see here, straight away the image looks much better. It's still quite gray, but we are on the right kind of way. So we're going to start with exposure now. So maybe we'll go to plus 30 or something around there. Then I'm going to work on contrast as well. I'm going to add a good bit, so maybe plus 40 or something like that, and we'll see how that looks. I'm going to add some highlights to make sure that the image is a bit brighter. So I'm just going to add maybe plus 50, maybe brighten the shadows a tiny bit as well, so plus 30, maybe a bit more highlights, a tiny bit more on the white side as well, just to kind of bring out the highlights. And then blacks, I'm going to go maybe minus 13 or something like that. Okay, I'm going to add a tiny bit more vibrance as well, because I feel like the image is kind of gray. So I'm going to go to maybe plus 30, and then in saturation maybe like plus 16 or something like that. Cool. Now in the highlights and shadows, I'm going to maybe add a tiny bit more magenta here. And then in the shadows, I might add a tiny bit more color as well. I'll see what looks best. Yeah, maybe around 300. There we go. I'm going to enable profile correction, just to make sure that there is no vignetting and so on. And then I'm going to go to I'm going to move on to the calibration. Sometimes it works pretty well. I'm going to maybe add plus 6 in here. In red, I don't know, maybe I want to add a bit more red, maybe a tiny bit, yeah, maybe plus 18. I'm not really moving saturation at all. Then in green, I'm not really sure if I need any more. And then in blue, we can just, yeah, I think I can just leave it as it was, or maybe plus 6. I don't know. I think that's pretty good. Okay, and now I'm going to go back into the color settings here. I'm going to work on blues. I'm just going to lower the saturation. The reason is that I want to add a bit more vibrance into the whole image. And the easiest way to do it is to desaturate the area that I want less color in, and then just add the extra color on top, if that makes sense. So I'm going to maybe put the saturation of the blue on like minus 30, and then the aqua as well, maybe on minus 28. And now I'm going to add up a bit more vibrance. So it's going to add a bit more color in the skin and the dress, but not as much in the back of the pool, which is kind of what I want, because I don't want the blue to be too strong. Okay, I'm going to do that. I might have to go back to green as well here and just work on the hand here, because it's still a bit kind of greenish, and see if I can add some color. So maybe I'll just go here and add, yeah, it just kind of makes it a bit more yellow. Same with the yellow tones, I might just add a tiny bit more here. Just kind of watch which areas of the image does it affect. Okay, that's pretty good. And now I'm just going to add a bit more highlights and a bit more whites into the image. That's very nice. And then maybe a tiny bit more exposure, just to kind of brighten the image a tiny bit more. Not too much though. So maybe plus 40. I don't know if it needs any more contrast. Maybe a tiny bit. Yeah, that's pretty good. And then finally what I'm going to do is I am going to add some sharpening there. That's pretty good. We don't really need that much. It's on 59 already anyway, as it is. Okay, and that's pretty much it. Could go a tiny bit more in the dehaze, but it's just, you have to be careful not to kind of overdo it. I might actually bring down the blacks a tiny bit, but not too much. Maybe go even a bit brighter, and then just bring down the highlights a tiny bit. Okay, I think I'm pretty happy with this one. Let's see the before and after. So as you guys see, there's quite a difference. So that's the before and that's the after. I'm pretty happy with that. And that's it. Super simple and easy. As you see, you know, there isn't much to it. It's just literally Lightroom adjustments. This is the settings here. So as I said, the main two things is just to increase clarity and, you know, the haze and contrast and so on, because the water usually makes everything quite kind of cloudy. And then make sure, if you don't use a red filter, to work on the colors and just kind of balance out the lack of reds by adding them into the image afterwards. So I added loads of magenta, loads of red, and just increased clarity, contrast, and dehaze. And that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next one.